This conference will now be recorded.
Wonderful. So, guys, anything from the last class that do you remember? Okay, we started discussing about different modes of recording. So how we can, I mean, if Jmeter is not helping you out to record for whatever the reasons, okay, you're not able to record in Jmeter itself using the HTTP script recorder, then there are other options. What is the first option that we have discussed yesterday, guys? Some of you can unmute yourself and start speaking. My speakers are up. Uh, yeah, okay. Wonderful, Narendra. We can use a bad boy, okay. Uh,
Developer tool.
sorry, Swarna.
Developer tool.
Okay, developer tools. Okay, so using the developer tools, you create a hash file. Okay,
And a
so
fiddler trace.
Abdul,
Fiddler trace.
Fiddler. Okay, Fiddler. Some of the students have left. I will show them Fiddler today. So there is a Chrome plugin. What was the Chrome plugin?
Jmeter Chrome plugin.
Wonderful, Blaze. Okay, so BlazeMeter is again a third-party tool which works in conjunction, or it will augment the Jmeter, to be honest. Okay, so along with that, at the fag end of the class, we realized that we can use the Fiddler tool as well. Okay, to record it. That's where I will start the class, today's class now. Okay, so some of them who stayed back and listened, they already know how to do it using the Fiddler. But some of you who left the class, okay, for them I'm going to quickly show you how to record using the Fiddler, okay, and then what needs to be done. So guys, first things first, what is this tool called Fiddler? Okay, what is this Fiddler? Okay, is it used only for performance testing, or what is it? So Fiddler is a network sniffing tool is what they call. Okay.
HTTP
Okay.
debug.
Okay. So is HTTP debug is another tool, right, Abdul?
I mean, mostly it is used for HTTP debug, or it has multi-purpose. So you call for your purpose. So basically,
Right. So so if you go to Fiddler, okay, you see the free web debugging proxy for any browser, system, or platform. Okay. So I hope there was more information regarding that. But typically they call it as sniffing tools is what I heard. Okay. So if you go online and you say network sniffing tools. Okay. Oh, Fiddler, it's not showing. Okay. So best packet sniffing tools. Okay. And for network. Okay, so Fiddler is not here. Okay, yeah, Fiddler is here. You see, it's a network sniffing tool. Okay, so I mean, you can use it for multiple purposes. Developers have seen using it to change the payload, or you change the HTTP request. They use it for multiple purposes. But
yeah.
as a performance tester, basically we use the tool called Fiddler for network sniffing. Okay, so if you ask me, Fiddler is the only tool which can sniff the network. No, there are other tools. I've used a tool called Wireshark as well. These are the popular tools. Usually the performance testers use. One is Fiddler and one is Wireshark. Okay, typically we as a performance testers usually call them as network sniffing tools. Okay, you know what is sniffing, right? I mean, a dog will sniff to identify what is there. Okay, so it will keep sniffing to see, like, what is there. I mean, it's just like that. Sniffing is just like that. Okay, so it will sniff the network, and whatever is there in the network, it will catch. Okay, may it be Fiddler, may it be Wireshark, and there are a bunch of other tools. Okay, so whatever is there in the network, okay, that you're monitoring or where you have installed, it will capture all that stuff. Okay, so downloading Fiddler is not difficult, guys. It's a very simple tool. Okay, just click on download now, and a small, like a 10 MB file or something gets downloaded, and then you can go ahead and install. It should not be difficult. If you have any problems installing Fiddler, please let me know, guys. but it's a very simple installation, just like your bag. Okay, hardly takes less than a minute to install this. Okay, it's a very light tool. So once you install it, you should be able to access Fiddler. It takes a little bit of time, guys. Okay, yeah. So you see, automatically, it starts capturing. Okay, so you need not have to click on record or something like that. By default, whatever is there in the network, it will start capturing anything which is there in the network. It doesn't even matter what is there. Everything it gets captured. Okay, let me go ahead and remove whatever the sessions that it got captured. Okay, so whatever is there in the network, it will capture and it will show up over here. Okay, so let me access the what do you say, the Jmeter store application. Okay, so you see
You can
it has launch and you are able to capture that launch. Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying you can even target to a specific process, like if you see any process icon with a crosshair there on the menu bar, and you go and select that and click on the particular browser instance, and here, any process in the middle. Yeah. After clicking that, hold on the mouse and go and target to, yeah, click here, and every traffic coming from that particular window will be captured now.
Okay, not all windows. Okay, I want it captured only from this window. Just pick the target. Now you just clicked on here and you have picked the target. So it will capture only from here. Okay. Okay. So what Abdul is saying is, let's say you have 10 browsers, or let's say there are 2 browsers which are open, and you want to capture the traffic only from this browser 1, not the browser 2. You don't want to capture whatever is there from the browser 2. You want it to capture only from the browser 1. You can just say, pick the target, click on it, and then click on the browser. So it will capture only the traffic from here. Ideally, now it should not capture anything from here now. Okay. So if I say google.com, nothing is getting captured. Okay. If I search for maybe performance testing, a request is sending and response you are getting, but nothing is captured here because you are capturing only from this browser here. Okay. Now you click on sign in. Okay, something got captured. You see sign in. Okay, and then go ahead and click on login. That got captured, and sign out. Okay, and that got captured. So it will sniff the network. It will sniff the network. Whatever is there in the network which is coming from this browser, it will capture all that information. Okay, just like what you see in the developer tools, the same thing you are seeing over here, to be honest, guys. But there are so many things that you can do over here. Okay, so you can play around and all that. Okay, and by the way, if you don't want, what I have done here is, okay, 1 minute, hang on. Okay, so what I have done here is I went to filters, okay, and I said show only from the following host, and I've given this host, which is democaker monitoring.net. So anything which is related to democaker monitoring.net, only that stuff will be captured here. Only that stuff is getting captured here, and remaining everything else from maybe google.com or Google APIs or something, maybe there could be some other traffic which is already there, which is happening. It will not capture any of it because I've already set the filters and I've said only capture it from this host, which is democaker monitoring.net, and remaining any other traffic, just ignore it. Okay, so that's what I have done here. Okay, and there are more filtering options here. You can play around with those other filtering options as well. Okay. And also, there is one more thing. I was looking at it yesterday. Keep all sessions picked. Hang on, guys. Capture traffic. By default, you are capturing the traffic. You don't want to capture the traffic. You have to uncheck that. Okay. Hang on, guys. 1 second. Yesterday, I was just okay. This one here, I think. No. Okay. So you see here, after everything is captured, you wanted to remove certain stuffs you can do. Let's say you don't want the images. Okay, there is something related to images is captured here. you can just go ahead and delete the images and all that will be gone. Okay, hang on. Let me demonstrate that as well. Okay. Now let me take this one out. Okay, and then do not say use filters. Okay. Now you will see what will be captured. Okay, I'm not even using any filters here, so which means that everything which is there on the traffic will be captured. Okay, first let me go ahead and then clear the browser as well. Clear the cache. Okay, so that my Fiddler can capture the images and all that. Okay, now you watch what Fiddler is capturing, guys. Okay, so you see it already started some stuff which is related to Google APIs. Okay, so let me remove all of them. Okay, now go ahead and start capturing. Okay, you see it's already being captured, so you need not have to do anything. The traffic is being captured. Okay, now you see launch. You see all the images, everything got captured. Okay, so everything over here is getting captured. Okay, now this is all related to JPEG storage, sir. Okay, wonderful. Now click on sign in. Okay, so the sign in related stuff is captured. Login, and login related stuff is getting captured. Sign out. Okay, and sign out related stuff is getting captured. Okay, and all of them are from the same host. It is capturing is democaker monitoring.net. But in case, in case if something else is getting captured, guys, in case if some other maybe related to Google or something is getting captured, you can avoid it. Okay, copy the value only. Okay, so you can avoid that. Something else is getting captured. I mean, along with this democaker, let's say from Google APIs or Yahoo.com or maybe some other traffic is getting captured, and you don't want that traffic to be captured. Go to save filters and show only the following host and give the host. Okay, which is democaker. So which means that it will capture only the stuff which is related to democaker, nothing else. Okay, and one more thing is, you don't want all these images. Okay, you don't want all these images, the request, the embedded resources which is related to the images. There are multiple ways. Okay, in the filterings also you can say over here, somewhere here, you can say show only HTML or maybe show only certain kind of content. You can drive it from here. Okay, so that all the images will go away. Or okay, you can say, you see hide images. You can click on that and you say, then all the images will go out. Or easily what you can do is, so remove the images, all the images will go away. All the images will go away. Now you can export this. Now your script is ready. You don't want the images, so you have taken away the images. The script is ready. Okay, what you can do now is just export the sessions. Okay, export all the sessions. Each one is a session for Fiddler. Export all sessions. Okay, and then save it as a HTTP archive file, AR file. Okay, you can save it as a HTTP archive file version 1.1 or version 1.2. I think version 1, anything works, I believe. So let me go with version 1.1. Okay, so now go ahead and export it. Go ahead and export it. You see, this is the HAR file. So if you go back and look at the properties, you see it is a HAR file. Now once it is a HAR file, you know how to convert that to a JMX file. How do I convert that to a JMX file, guys? I have a HAR file. How do I convert that to a JMX file?
Using the Jmeter plugin.
Wonderful. So there is a Jmeter plugin. Using that, you will be able to convert that. Okay. Okay, choose this file, Fiddler script. Okay, convert it. Automatically it will convert and start downloading. It will be there in your downloads. Okay, so once you click on download, automatically it gets downloaded and it will be there in your My Downloads. Okay, so this is the file. Now you can open this file. Okay, in the Jmeter, guys. You can open this file in the Jmeter. Let me invoke the Jmeter here. and then drag and drop it, or you can open it. Either way you're comfortable. Okay, now all the stuff, all the samplers which is related to those sessions, Fiddler point of view, it is calling sessions. So, or the embedded resources is captured here. If you think that something is not necessary, like .css files, you can go ahead and delete it from here. Okay, and you're good to go, guys. Okay, and you're good to go. Now you have used the Fiddler to create a Jmeter script. Okay, so you can add one more here. So out of these 3 ways, bad boy developer tools, which is from the hair files, and then Chrome plugin Jmeter. Now you can use the Fiddler tool also to create this. Or not just Fiddler, any network sniffing tool. You can use the Wireshark as well and create this script. Okay, again, using the Fiddler is not difficult, and using the Wireshark is also not difficult. Okay, so you can use the Wireshark to sniff the network, to capture the network, and then export that into a hair file, and from hair file you can create a JavaScript. Okay, so this is what you can do, guys. This is what this is how these are the so many different ways you can create the scripts or record the script. Okay. So hang on, guys. So Fiddler, again, no proxy is required for here. Okay, to be honest, no proxy is required for this.
Kumar, I think most of us, we are not seeing your screen refresh. We are stuck at 7:27 a.m.
7:27 a.m. Oh my God. Is that sure? I mean,
That's what we are seeing on the screen, and this is the situation with most of us.
oh, what is happening, guys? Okay, let me stop sharing and then share it again.
Yeah, I think so. Much better now.
Okay. So, do I need to explain that Fiddler again, guys, or you got that picture? So, guys, whoever you want me to go through the Fiddler again? Yeah. Okay. I don't know from when you've been started you stop seeing. Okay, so I hope okay, once you invoke the Fiddler, right? Okay, so let me remove all the sessions. Okay,
I
when
think
you
from the
invoke,
exporting, you have the file exported, right? From that, you can convert from the Blazemeter.
okay. So you have seen how to capture, how to filter, and all that, right? You are able to see that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just need to show you how to. Okay, I got it. Okay,
Please check with
so.
others also if they are comfortable with going from this step.
Yeah. Should I show it from this step, guys, or is there anything? I mean, you have seen it exporting to the HAR file. How to export to the HAR file? You have seen that. Yeah. So once the script, once you have exported all the sessions to a HAR file from Fiddler, okay. So I have that file here. You see. So this is the file. If you go to properties, you see the HAR file. So I have exported it onto my desktop. And once the HAR file is been exported, I need to convert that into a Jmeter script. I need to convert that to a Jmeter script. So HAR file can be converted to the Jmeter script using this converter.blazemeter.com. Okay, you have seen this yesterday. You have already seen this yesterday. Choose the file, choose this Fiddler script. Okay, then you just say convert. Okay, then you can go ahead and download. So it's already been downloaded here. So let me go ahead and delete what's been downloaded, or it's not there in the downloads. Okay, don't worry. So go ahead and download it. It's a small file, 35 KB file, immediately got downloaded, and here's the file. Okay, so and now you can. Okay, so now you can open this file in the Jmeter. Now you can open this .jmx file in the Jmeter. Just drag and drag. Okay, and then you will be able to see this file with all the samples. Okay, so this is how you can use the Fiddler for recording the stuff. Okay, are we clear, guys, all of you? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So is the pace okay, guys? I mean, am I going? I mean, are you able to understand, or is it too difficult for you? Just wanted to check with you because every day the crowd has been decreasing. So just wanted to check with you, or like whoever is completely new to Jmeter, right? Are you finding it easy to understand, all of you? Somebody who is looking at the Jmeter for the very first time, okay? How is the course has been? Are you able to follow, or should I slow down a little bit and then explain more? Hivi, you have a wonderful question. Okay. Osman says so far so good. What about others, guys, who are looking at the Fiddler? I mean, not Fiddler, Jmeter for the very first time. Is it smooth? I mean, are you able to understand it? Okay, Divakar, wonderful. Okay, I want to hear from all of you. Tensity, Gautam. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, because every day the crowd is decreasing, so that's the reason why I need to check myself all the time. Hivi asked a question to all of us, guys. Are those Fiddler and bad boys used in most of the companies? No, to be honest. Okay, bad boys, I think companies will allow you to install, it's fine. But Fiddler, any network sniffing tool, the companies will be reluctant for you to install those tools, especially if it's an enterprise company. Okay, and they're worried about their systems and the data being stolen and all that, right? They will not allow installing Fiddler on your systems. Okay, unless it is extremely important, you have to take certain permissions. Okay, and then they will allow you. Okay, so it depends. Like I work for Westpac client. They were very strict. It's a banking client. Okay, it's a banking applications and it's client, and they were not comfortable installing the network sniffing tools on their networks. Okay, so I could never use Fiddler or Wireshark over there for those reasons. Okay, so I mean I was happy. I mean then I had to use the developer tools, whatever it has to get my work done. Okay, but there are some clients who are not, whose data is not that sensitive, or they are not, anything which is related to finance, like banking or insurance or those kind of companies. Okay, they will not be comfortable if you say that you want to install network sniffing tool, because once this tool is installed, right, if you are smart enough, you can kind of sniff not just what is going on from your browser, but what is the total thing which is happening in that particular enterprise. Okay, if you're smart enough, you can set up the proxies, you can set up the IP addresses and all that, and you can sniff any traffic which is there on the network. And they will not be comfortable if you want to look at anything else other than what is happening on the system. Okay, but yeah, but there are smaller clients and less data sensitive and not they're not that security wise, they're not that careful, so they will allow. Okay, but generally, what happens is, if you want to install, right, you will not have an admin rights on your system. Okay, you can't install anything, anything and everything that you want. Okay, so for whatever you need to install, you need to take certain permissions, and then once the permission is granted, so the certain team will come and install the stuff for you. Okay, it's not like your personal systems wherein I can go ahead and download anything and install anything. Okay, they will not allow you to do that. Typically, not all companies, but most of the companies. And especially if you ask for this tools like Wireshark or Fiddler, they will ask you 100 reasons as to why you need it, and then they will take a decision whether you really need it or not, and if there are alternatives and all that. Okay, so Hivi, have I answered your question? Okay. So yeah, wonderful. So yeah, coming back. So today we're gonna go execute the script, guys. It's a long waiting. Okay, let's go ahead and execute the script. Okay, whatever the script that we have created. Okay, we can execute Okay, we can execute in two modes. Okay, in two modes, we can execute any script in two modes. Okay, one is GUI mode and one is non-GUI mode. Okay, so can anybody tell me what is the full form of GUI? GUI? Somebody who has done manual testing, they will be jumping and telling the answer. What is GUI? You can unmute yourself and speak.
Graphical user interface.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, graphical user. Okay, not just, I mean, try to understand each word, guys. Then you know what is this. Okay, so it's an interface for the end user, which is graphical. Graphical means more pictorial, and then with all the windows and all that. Okay, so you see, for Jmeter, this is the graphical user interface. Okay, because it's an interface where the end user, which is Kumar, is using it, and it's graphical in nature. It's all the pictures with the buttons and all that. So it makes it easy. So this is a GUI. Okay, so anything which and then if you go to this is a GUI. Okay, it's a graphical user interface wherein I am able to see what is there, and this interface, using this interface, the end user, it's graphical in nature. So this is a graphical user interface when it comes to Jmeter. So you can execute from this console or this GUI. Okay. Usually I see people calling it as console, Jmeter console. Okay. So you can execute the script from here. Okay, which is the graphical user interface, or in a non-GUI mode, means there is no GUI. Okay, there is no graphical interface. The end user doesn't have anything to use. So in a non-GUI mode means from the command prompt. You can execute the script from the command prompt as well. So in two ways you can execute the script. You can execute the script from command prompt, or you can execute the script from the Jmeter itself, which is the graphical user interface. This is the graphical user interface for Jmeter. Okay, if I open the SOAP UI, okay, it takes a little bit of time less, because once I restart the system, right, everything which is there in the RAM will go away. So now whatever is there in the hard disk, it has to load on the RAM and show it to you, so it's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, so this is the graphical user interface for the SOAP. Okay, SOAP UI 2. Okay, this is the graphical user interface for the SOAP UI 2. Okay, so and this, if I go to the team viewer, this is the graphical user interface for the team viewer. So now for the Jmeter, this is the graphical user interface. You can execute from here. So I'm going to show you how to execute it from here first. Okay, but before doing that, let me pick up some script which is little meaningful. Okay, I don't want it to take any script, and then do it. So just wanted to see if something is little better. Okay, maybe this script is better, maybe. Okay, or I have some class 4 script is what I have done. Okay, so we'll use this class 4 script. Okay, maybe I haven't done the correlation, so maybe there could be some failures. Okay, okay, so this is also not clean enough. Okay, let me see if there are some good scripts. Just give me one moment, guys. Okay, I need some meaningful script to execute. If not, I'll execute any script. I don't know which one of these scripts are good. Okay, so this says good scripts here. Maybe there's some good scripts here. Okay, so let me pick up some script. Okay, Jmeter doc. Okay, so maybe let me see if this script is of any use. Okay, maybe it's done on the. Okay, so maybe there is some issues with the script. Fine, not an issue. Okay, so I have the script as open. Let me quickly see what is there in the script. Okay. Okay, so if I start, I mean, executing this script, you get overwhelmed because you're seeing the flow control actions and all that. Okay, so I don't want to execute this script as well, because if I want to execute the script, I want to explain all of this, which I wanted to do it at some other point of time. So let me take up simple script, guys. Okay, so whether it's passing or failing is not an issue. I want to show you that we can execute the script. Just give me 1 moment, guys. Okay, there is launch. Okay, so there is launch, there is click on sign in and sign up. What happened to the good scripts that we have done, wherein, it was, okay, I didn't save any of it, I believe. Okay, so I didn't save any of it. Okay, so, okay, this is launch. Hang on, guys. So let me fix that script to make it little meaningful. Okay. Let me move all the samplers into one single control. Okay. My idea is to just execute, guys. Okay, let me go ahead and execute. Remove. Okay. Now this is a simple script which has a launch, which has click on sign in, then go ahead and sign in, and then sign up. Okay, it's a very simple script, guys. So let's go ahead and execute this script. Okay, and all of it is there in the recording controller itself. Ideally, you don't want it to be, you want to move it to a simple controller or something like that. The main reason is accidentally if you click on this button, all the samplers will go away, and that's it. Okay, so that's the reason why people don't put it in the recording controllers. It is more like a temporary storage thing. Okay, so this recording controller, but for now let it be there. Okay, so let me go ahead and execute it. So let me go ahead and execute this script, guys. Okay, so and again, while recording, okay, maybe the recording stuff is not captured. Okay, the recording log is not captured here for this particular script. Okay, let's not worry about the recording log right now. Okay, so you know how to capture it. Okay, how to capture the recording log. You can give the path and all that so that it go ahead and capture it. Okay, so that it can go ahead and capture the recording log and all that. So forget about it. Now that it's not captured, so let's not even worry about it. So I'm worrying about only the execution part, only the execution part. Okay, now you look at the importance of the thread group, guys. Let's look at now you look at the importance of the thread group. Since we are executing, now you know the importance of the thread group. Okay, in detail, we discuss about the thread group at a later point of time when you are discussing about the test scenarios, merging all the scripts and executing. Okay, so but for now, just look at the options which are important for me to execute. Only those options which are important for me to execute, I'll explore these options here. Okay, here you see thread groups. So with how many users, whatever the content which is there in the thread groups, with how many users you wanted to execute, you have to put it over here. Let's say I wanted to execute with only one user, you can put it over here. Here the users, they call it as threads as well. Okay, so users, they call it as threads as well. So you say number of threads, or in other words, number of users. Each user is creating one thread to execute this script. To be honest, in the LoadRunner also the same thing happens. Each user in the background, it creates the threads. Okay, so they are not showing it to the end user. Okay, that each user and thread is same, but here they are showing it. That's the only difference. But each user will create a thread to execute this one. So basically, number of threads means number of users. So let's say you wanted to execute with one user. Ramp up period in 1 second. All this will be ramped up. Okay, you know what is the ramp up, guys, all of you. Okay, so in 1 second, all the users, whatever the user which is there, right, it will be on or it will be ramped up. Okay, loop count, how many times you wanted to execute, you can mention it here. If you want to execute only for once, whatever is there in the thread group, okay, this script will be executed only once. Okay, so these are the three options which are good enough for me now. Okay, so I'll only explore these three, but at the later point of time, we can explore some of the other options. Okay, so now with one user, it will execute only once, and that user will be ramped up just in 1 second. Okay, are we clear with these options? Are we clear with this one, guys? These three things. Okay, it is very, very simple. You are executing with only one user, and how many times you are executing? Only one iteration, and then this user will be ramped up in within 1 second. Okay, that's what it is. And whatever the user will be executing, whatever the content which is there in the thread group. Okay, this user will execute whatever the content which is there in the thread group. All I have is one controller. In that controller, I have close to 5 to 6 samples. So this user will execute all these 5 to 6 samples. Okay, and how many times? Only one. Okay, so let me go ahead and execute it, guys. Let me go ahead and execute. I need to do something now, but first let me execute it, and then let me ask you certain question, then make some enhancements, guys. Okay, I'm executing. Okay, you see one of the one user is active now. So the user has been ramped up, and now the user has executed whatever it needs to execute, and then we are done with it. Okay, so you see, if you highlight here, what it is showing, let me take a print screen. Okay, now you look at it, guys. Okay, now you look at it. So this one shows running threads or running users. How many are running right now? 0. How many are there total threads to run? Total number of threads to run or total number of users to run? One user is there, which is of total. Out of it, 0 users are running. So which means that the one user, okay, which we are supposed to execute has already executed. Okay. Now let me go ahead and start again. Okay. Now let me go ahead and execute once more. Okay, and pay attention here, guys. Pay attention. Okay, total number of users, how many? One user. If you change this to 2, automatically the number, okay, here also changes to 2. Okay, as I execute, the number change. You see, as I execute, the number changes. Now, out of 2 users, both the users are in the running state. Both the users are running state. Now, none of the users are there in the running state. Okay, let's say 3 users. Okay. Let's say 15 users. Okay, now you see the ramp up has happened so fastly, I'm not able to show it. Hang on 1 second, guys. Okay, let's say the ramp up is, let's say 15 seconds, not 15, yeah, 15 seconds, or let's say 15 seconds or 30 seconds. Okay, that will give me enough time to explain this. Okay, now total number of users are 15. Out of the 15 users, how many have been ramped up? 2 users have ramped up so far. Okay, and you wait for some more time, few more users, you see third user will be ramped up. Okay, something is happening here, it is not allowing more than 2 users. Okay, we'll look into those issues later, but this is the total number of users, and this is the number of users which are active at this point of time. Okay, which is active at this point of time. So that's the reason, that is what I wanted to explain. Okay, that is what I wanted to explain. Okay, I got it. Why it was never showing 15 is the first user have ramped up, got the work done, and it has got down. Then the second user is going up. So that's the reason why at any point of time you didn't see it all 15 of them. Okay, so that's not a worry. I'll talk about it at the later point of time as to what has happened. But this is the total number of users, and this is the number of users which are active at this point of time. Okay, now let me go ahead and execute with one user. Okay, with 1 second, and go ahead and run it. You see, now one of the one user is active, and once it has done its work, then this user will go down. Okay, now it has executed all these 5 or 6 samplers, and once it has executed all of them, since you are executing only for one iteration, so it has gone down. So fine, Kumar, the script has executed, but where do I see like what has happened? Okay, where do I see that what has actually happened? Okay, so what is the request that is sent? What is the response I got? Whether the response was good or bad, I'm not able to see anything here. You see, I clicked on run button. Only here it is showing that okay, there seems to the user is up. Then it is up for certain period of time. Then it is going down. So where do I see what has happened? Okay, okay. Oh, Gaurav is asking me to make it as a full screen. Okay, so yes, I'm able to execute it, but there is no activity I'm able to see. I mean, in terms of like what has happened, what is this one user has done. You see, it is up for a certain period of time and it is going down. But what this user has executed, whatever it is executed, whether it's a pass or a fail, okay, I wanted to see it. So what do I do? Okay, any suggestions, guys? Any suggestions? What do you think I have to do to see what has actually happened? Okay, now let me ask one question. While recording, you wanted to see what has happened, what is actually got recorded. You wanted to see the log. Okay, while recording, what did we do, guys? What did we do? While recording, we wanted to see the log as to what is captured. Okay, what did we do to see that log as to what is captured? You've added a listener so that the listener will give you a listener called view results tree. Then the listener has shown you the log as to what has happened during the recording. Okay, what request has been sent and what is the response that you have captured. You know, you wanted to see that. So if you wanted to see that, what is that you have added? View results tree, and that is for the HTTP recorder. So if I added this listener to this thread group where I'm executing, will it capture what it is playing back? What do you think, guys? If I add the same listener view results tree, okay, but not with the HTTP script recorder, but to this thread group where I'm executing these users, it will capture the log as to what is the request that is being sent and what is the response that we got. What do you think, guys? Yes or no? There are already few people who have said yes, but I wanted to ask others. Okay, if this view results tree can capture the log while recording, the view results tree should be able to capture the log while playing back as well. Okay, so now let me go ahead and add that listener. Let me go ahead and add that listener, which is the view results tree. Now, just like this view results tree has captured as to what we have recorded, this view results tree will capture as to what has been played back. What has been played back. Okay, now let me go ahead and execute, guys. Now you will see what is happening. You see, now launch has happened. Okay, login. There are two requests for launch. Both the requests got executed. There is click. Okay, in the click itself, maybe the sign out. So the stuff got recorded, I think. Okay, for some reason, sign in is not getting captured. Maybe there is an issue with the script. Okay, so there is an issue with the script. Yeah. Oh, the click is actually the sign in. The click is not actually the click. The click is the sign in. You see the username and password. So the naming is incorrect, guys. So this is actually the click. Okay. So this is actually the click. This is actually the sign in. Okay. Let me rename it. Okay. So that's the reason why I needed a good script. Okay. Let me rename it. This is actually the sign in sample. And how do I know this is actually the sign in? Because you're sending the username and password along with that. Okay, so this is definitely a sign. Okay, wonderful, guys. Okay, so let me clean up all this. So let me execute once more. Okay, launch. Okay, so launch has happened. Oh my God, sign in has happened and sign out has happened. Okay, so it has executed all the samplers which you think that needs to be executed. Okay, launch, sign in and sign out. Okay, so actually I wanted to record once more. I don't know if these samplers are correct and I don't even have the view results tree. So quickly what I'll do is I'll create the script, guys. Okay, and then I'll execute. Okay, so let me move this to instead of deleting it. Okay, I'll create a simple controller. Okay, okay, I'll move this stuff here. Okay, so let me rename it. Okay, let me rename it as temp or something like that, or a buffer or something like that. Okay, and let me disable it. I don't want to execute this one, so let me disable that. Okay, now let me record everything into the recording controller. Let me go ahead and quickly record it, guys. Okay, so it will not take too much of your time. 888. Okay, so first let me go ahead and then set up the samplers. Sorry, proxy. So why this is not enabled? Any idea, guys? is happening here?
Maybe you need to close your. Maybe you need to close the Fiddler.
Oh, is it? Okay, the Fiddler will disable the proxy. Okay, maybe let me close the Fiddler. Yeah, the Fiddler. Oh man. So the Fiddler has actually disabled my proxy. It is not allowing me to change the stuff on the proxy. Okay, good catch, Abdul. So it looks like you're a Fiddler expert. Wonderful. Okay, so use record it in the recording controller. Okay, now you start recording. So let me give the transaction name as launch or the landing page. Okay, so go ahead and capture that stuff. Okay, so let me see if it is getting recorded. Wonderful. Okay, now I'll go ahead and click on sign in. Okay, now go ahead and capture the script for login part and go ahead and capture the script for login part and then stop recording. Okay, and see if whatever you want got captured or not. Okay, so launch has captured. Okay, click. Okay, two samplers got captured. Maybe I did click on it twice or no. So why is the sign in is captured as click? I think I need to look into it. This is actually the sign in. Okay, so these two requests should be for the sign in, to be honest. Okay, so let me record it once more, guys. Okay, one last time I will record, but this time around I'll record little slowly. Okay. Transaction name, I'll call it as a landing page or launch. Okay, then click. Okay, take a little bit of time. Okay, now go and do login. Okay, and finally log out. Yeah, so it is doing the same thing. Anyways, this is the login part actually. Okay, if you look at it, you're using the username, password, and you're actually clicking on login. This is actually the login. Okay, and this is logout. Okay, I'm not sure why it is doing that all the time. Maybe you need to take a little time to name it. Okay, one last time we'll try it. If you have any suggestions, you can give me, guys. Okay, launch has done. Okay, clicking on sign on is done. Oh, it is captured. Now this clicking is captured as the launch itself. Okay, so I need to look into it as to why the transaction names, it is not capturing correctly. Okay.
Kumar, maybe you need to come to the pet store from some other site, then try actually visiting to the site.
Maybe I'll try to open it on another browser. Okay, and then try one time here. Okay, or maybe close the browser altogether and then open it. So refresh it completely. So much stuff got captured. Okay, so now let me go ahead and launch. Okay, so only one sampler got recorded. Wonderful. So go ahead and click. Okay, create a new transaction after request. Okay, so let's say 10 milliseconds or something like that. Now you go ahead and click on it. Now it has captured correctly, which is a click. Okay, now you go ahead and then log in. Okay, I think you need to give a little bit of time. Okay, and then go ahead and click on it. Now it has captured for the login. Both these samplers are for the login. Now it is appropriately naming it. So you take a little bit of time, okay, while recording. If you are recording too fastly, I think the tool is getting a little messed up, okay. And now you see these two samplers are for the logout, and it has captured accurately. Even yesterday I have noticed it. I mean, like, you know, if you are recording very fastly, you know, it is inappropriately naming it. So you see, this is for the login, which is appropriately named it, okay. So now you see launch, there is login and there is logout, okay. So launch, login, okay, and then there is logout, okay. So let me go ahead and now execute it, okay. Let me go ahead and execute it. So I click on execute, and I wanted to, the file recording already existed. What do you want to do? You want it to override, okay, override the existing file, okay. So now the execution is happening. I wanted to see the log for the execution log. Where do I go and look at the execution log, guys? Where do I go and look at the execution log? So guys, where do I see the execution log as to what has happened? Okay, view results tree. Wonderful. Okay, so you can go and look at the view results tree as to what has happened. Okay, now you see for the launch it has executed. Okay, for sign in, sign out, I have executed it 2 times. Maybe I haven't deleted the log from the earlier execution. Okay, so let me do a clear all so that the complete log goes away. Now clicking on the view results tree, I'll go ahead and execute. Okay, now you see the first launch is executed, then clicking as executed, the clicking sampler, then the login sampler is executed, and the logout sampler is executed. These are the redirects, okay. Don't worry about them, okay. It will not get executed, okay. But these are the redirects, if you see, okay. So you need not have to worry about it, okay. You need not have to worry about that. You see, log 27, login 27, okay. So this is a redirect, okay. HTTP is 200, okay. So 26 is a redirect, okay. So you see, 26 should be a redirect, if I believe correctly. You see, response port 302. So 26 is the redirect, which means that it will redirect the request to 27. So 27 need not have to be specifically executed. As it executes 26, it will also execute 27. That's what it means, guys. Okay, that's what it means. So 26, as you execute 26, it will also execute the 27th part as well, 27th sampler, because 26 is a redirect. 26 is a redirect, which is 302. Okay, so as it executes 26, it will go ahead and execute 27 as well. So as it executes 28, it will also execute 29 as well, because 28 is also a redirect. 27 is also a redirect, so it will redirect to 29 and it executes to 29. That's the reason why Jmeter smartly has disabled it, because 26 will, however, redirect it to 27 and it will go ahead and execute the 27. That's what it means. Okay. Now, so you see, it has executed all the samplers and you are able to see that execution. Okay. Now, if you wanted to see it in the HTML, you can go ahead and see it in the HTML as well to see what is the response for each of those sampler. So you see, once the launch sampler has been executed, you are able to see the launch request. I mean, you are able to see the response for the launch, and this is the launch page. And once you click on it, this is what you are expecting, and you are seeing this. Once you log in, this is what you are expecting, which is welcome APC, and you are able to see that. Or log out, once you log out, this is what you are expecting to see the page. You see, styling and all that will be missed, guys. Okay, only the HTML content will be seen. The styling and all that you will be able to see in the web browsers, not on the Jmeter. Okay, but you see the launch request. Okay, the launch request. Hang on. Okay, let me disable the proxy. I mean, disable the proxy. Okay, now you see, let me go to the developer tools, okay, and bring up the launch request. How many? There are 16 embedded resources or 16 requests for the launch. So you expect that when Jmeter execute, if not 16, most of them the Jmeter will execute. Let me see, the Jmeter is actually executing them. Okay, you have not captured the request for all of them. But while playing back, okay, so what did we do? Retrieve all them. Oh, this is what I have to do. Oh, hang on, guys. Okay, so retrieve all the embedded resources I have to do for each one of them. Okay, retrieve all the embedded resources. Instead of doing for each one of them, what can I do, guys? Instead of going and changing it for each one of them, okay. So
HTTP
is
request
there
default.
Abdul, can you come again?
HTTP request default.
Wonderful. You can use HTTP request defaults, add config elements called HTTP request defaults. In HTTP request defaults, you do it, which means that it is applicable to all the samplers which are there in the recording controller. So whatever the defaults that you have given, the defaults will be applicable to all the samplers which are there in the recording controller. Why only in the recording controller? Because the HTTP request defaults, you have put it under the recording controller, so it is applicable to only the samplers which are there in the recording. Okay, now let me go ahead and clean up this stuff. Okay, now go ahead and execute. Okay, now launch. Okay, click on login. Sorry, click login. Okay, so now you expect all the 24 samplers to be executed. Let me see how many got executed. 1, 2, 3, 16 should be executed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So Jmeter, even though you're not capturing all these embedded resources, but it is still playing back all the embedded resources. This is the question somebody has asked me when I'm talking about the best practices for Jmeter and telling you that and mention that you're not supposed to capture all the embedded resources. Only the main HTML one is what you're supposed to capture. And while playing back, the Jmeter is smart enough to play back all the 16 of them. I've told you, okay. Then somebody, I think Gaurav has asked this question. Immediately he's asked, okay, you're not capturing all of it, but while playing back, does it play back all of them? Okay. Have you seen, right? Clearly now I have demonstrated that. Okay. It is playing back all the 16 of them. So Gaurav, are you happy now? Gaurav, are you there? Is he there? Gaurav? Okay. So I think you have asked that question, right? You're not capturing all of them, but while playing back, does it play back all of them? Okay. It does play back all of them, which you have seen. Okay. And each
So,
one. Yeah.
while it is playing back, it is all coming from the server, right? Irrespective of what you are playing back, because you're sending one request and it is replying with the embedded responses, right?
Right. But if you do the cache controller, which I've told you, right? I think first time around it will do it. Second time around for the same user, I don't think it will do it. Okay. So if you add the cache manager over here, okay. So under this, okay. So what it will do, probably the first time around it will try to download, but the second time around maybe it will behave just the way it will behave it for the browser. Okay, that's what the cache manager is supposed to, but I've never checked it. Okay, so but the first time around it will do it. Maybe the second time around it should not. Maybe we'll go ahead and quickly try. Okay, so we'll do it with one user, but 5 times or maybe 4 times. Okay, so the first time around we expect it to download all the embedded resources. Second time around it should not do it because it's supposed to be cached. What is it? It is supposed to cache it. Okay, but let's see it with our own eyes how the cache works. Okay, I've done it for 3 times. This how many times I've executed it for 4 times. So this is executed for 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay. Now the first time around we're expecting all the 16 to be downloaded, but the second time around, okay, you see that, Abdul? Did you see that? The second time around it has downloaded only the one embedded resources and everything else, it has cached in because you have added a cache manager here, HTTP cache manager.
Yeah,
Abdul,
yeah.
are you there?
Yeah.
You seen that, right? The second iteration for launch, you expect all the 16 to be downloaded, but it is not downloading all the 16. It is downloading only one embedded resources, which is main, which is the HTML. Okay, so this cache manager exactly acts how it is for the browser. The way it does for the browser, it does it on the Jmeter as well. Okay, but for the same user, I mean for the different user, if there are 2 users, for the second user, it will download all the 16 of them. For the second user, second iteration, it will not download. Okay, so for the first user wise, it will capture all of it. but the same user next iteration it will not capture. Okay, I hope you are understanding of that.
Yes, Kumar, I am. You can proceed. Yes.
So for the cache manager, okay, so clear cache for each iteration, then it's just like, now I'll go ahead and demonstrate. Okay, you say clear cache for each iteration. So what you do is, after the first iteration it will clear the complete cache, which means for the second iteration also it will download all the 16 of them. Okay, okay, for the first one it has downloaded all the 16 embedded resources. For the second one also it is downloading all the 16 of them, because here in cache manager you set clear cache for each. Okay. If that is the case, it's not as good as not putting, to be honest, but okay, Gaurav, are we clear? Gaurav, I just answered your question. I think you're clear with that, right? Yeah. Okay. So can I proceed further, guys? Are you happy now? All of you understanding? But you need not have to capture all the embedded resources. Capture the main one, and Jmeter is smart enough to execute all. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Now you are able to see the request and the response, and you are able to see if it is executed for multiple iterations. And you are also able to see if a sampler is a pass or a fail as well. Okay, so if you execute it 4 times, you're able to see all the 4 times. Okay, wonderful. Okay, and you can see it in the HTML mode or text mode, whichever you are comfortable. You can see it in the HTML mode. HTML source formatting is here. Typically, people see it in the HTML mode. Okay, somebody has unmuted themselves. They can ask. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Okay, so wonderful. Okay, now I have a question for you guys. Okay, what is the whole purpose of me creating this script? Can somebody tell me? One is to put load. Okay, if I run it with multiple users, I'll put load. Once I put load, what is that I'm actually looking for in terms of results? What is the main thing that I'm looking for in terms of results? Can somebody tell me? Capture the response times. Where do you see the response times here? Do you see the response times anywhere? The only place where I see that some execution is happening, the only indication is in the view results tree. If I open this view results tree, I'm seeing what is the request that is getting, what is the request I'm sending, and what is the response that I'm getting back. But nowhere it is showing what is the response times. Okay, so obviously whatever the script enhancements that you have done, that is not good enough for me to for me to see the response. Okay, so I need to do further enhancements. I need to do further enhancements. Okay, see carefully what I am doing. I am adding one more listener. Okay, what is the listener I am adding? Okay, so let's simple data writer. View results in the table is what people use, or summary report. I'll demonstrate both of them. First, I'll say view results in a table. Okay. Now, also I will add one more listener, or I'll add one more listener called, okay, summary report or aggregate report. You can play around. I'll do it with the summary report. Okay. I've added 2 listeners, guys. Okay. So this buffer I'll delete it. It's causing some issues. Not issues, but it is making me a little uncomfortable. Okay. So you see, view results in a tree. You know what to look for: request and the response. Okay. So you can look it in the HTML or whatever you want. Okay. Request and the response, you will be able to look it up from here. But I wanted to see the response times. Okay, for that I have added 2 listeners. What is that? Summary report and view results. So guys, if you have a question, please unmute yourself and ask. Okay, but if you don't have a question, definitely you can unmute and ask, guys. Okay, because not only for me, others also, there is little bit of background noise. Okay, so sorry to say that, but if you have a question, definitely unmute yourself and speak. Okay, I'm not asking you not to speak. Okay, but if you don't have any questions, right, mute yourself immediately. Okay, it's just a humble request. Okay, I don't wanted you not to ask. In fact, I'll be very happy if you ask the questions. Okay, but just that there will be that kind of inconvenience. Okay. Now, the purpose of view results tree. Let's look at these two as well. Okay. One more thing before I start talking about these two things. I'll tell you one more thing about this view results tree. If I execute this, okay. Okay, hang on, guys. If I execute this, whatever the further results which are there, okay. Now let's say I'm executing for one more time. Okay, just one iteration, one more time for one user. Obviously, you expect that log. So tell me, option 1, it will clear the existing log and then put the new log. Option 2, it will append the existing log to the, append the new log to this existing log. Again, I'm asking, guys, if I execute this script again, option 1, it will clear the existing log and put the new log. Option 2, it will append to the existing log. So I know I haven't told you, but give it a guess. Option 1 or option 2?
Option 2. It will append the existing.
Option 2, you should not answer option 2, guys. Okay, whatever you think, you tell me. Okay, so almost everybody looks like played around with the tool. So the first time when I was actually looking at the tool, I thought it will clear the existing log and then put the new log. But that's not what it will do. You see, it will add the new log to the existing log. You see, this is what it has started executing from. So it will keep the existing log and then add the new log to it. Why? That's how the Jmeter people have developed it. Okay, that's what they think it's appropriate. Okay, why? Then I started thinking as to why they are appending it, because you see, by default it is not getting saved. And in case you wanted the results or the log for the previous execution, the Jmeter is making it disappear. In case if it has to clean the existing log and put the new log, it is cleaning it off, and there is nowhere it is storing. So probably that's when they thought that maybe they should keep the existing log and append the new log to it. Probably that could be the reason. Okay, now one more question. If I close this script and open this script, this log stays or goes away? Option 1 goes away. Option 2, the log will still be there. What am I doing? I'm closing this script completely. Okay, and opening it again. Option 1, this all log goes away. Okay, because it is stored in a temporary directory. Okay, or it will stays. It will go away. Just like the same way view results tree works for the HTTP script recorder, the same way it will work over here as well. Okay, so all this log will go away. So to keep this log, you will have to put the file name over here. Okay, so that this log will be stored in this file. In case if you believe that I need this log for the future purpose, even after me closing this Apache Jmeter, I still want the log. Even before recording, you put the file name here and then you execute. Automatically, this log will be stored in this file. I need not have to tell you, and you can store it in 3 different formats. What are the 3 different formats? XML, JPL, and CSV. Okay, you can store this log in any of those. I've seen a lot of people store this log. It is very, very important. Okay. By default, I think it should store it. Maybe somebody should recommend Jmeter, because every performance tester, while recording also, he wants to keep the log. Playback also, he wants to keep the log. Okay. So wonderful, guys. Okay. The reason why I believe Jmeter, guys, is not doing it is because they don't want to fill up your system. Every time you execute, every time it is saving the log without your consent, it is filling up your system. Okay, with lot of log, and it will make your system over a period of time. It will make your system slow. So maybe that could be the reason why by default they are not saving it. They are giving an option to you, saying that okay, in case you need it, they are giving the option, go ahead and save it. Wonderful, guys. Let me clear. Okay, let me clear this stuff here. Okay, now let me demonstrate what's there in the table and report. Okay, so let me clear all these reports as well. Now first let me tell you what is there in the view results. Okay, so now let me execute it. Okay, now you see how many samplers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. these two samplers you can ignore it because these samplers are redirecting the request to this one. This sampler is redirecting the request to this one. Obviously, this will not be executed. So it is executing only the 4 samplers 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is giving the response for all the 4 of them. You see, launch. How much time it is taking? 1262. Okay, 1262. Give it a guess, guys. Is it seconds or milliseconds? Option 1 seconds, option 2 milliseconds. Give it a guess. Just now I have executed. So based on that, you should be able to tell me seconds or milliseconds. Option 1, 2 milliseconds. Yes, because you see the execution happened so fastly. If it has actually taken 1262 seconds, okay, then the execution would have taken very long time. Okay, 1262 seconds is what? Lot of time. Okay, 600 seconds makes 60 seconds make 1 minute. Okay, 1262 means probably it would have executed 20 minutes. Okay, so obviously it's not seconds, it is milliseconds, which is shown over here as well. Okay, so the launch has taken 1262 milliseconds. Okay, so this one, okay, 173, this one 331, this one 340. Okay, this is how you can see the response times. Now the same thing you can see it in the summary report as well. You see launch, how much time it has taken? 1262. So, click 173, login 331, log out 340. Okay, same thing it is showing, right? Same thing it is showing over here. Okay, if same thing is shown in both these listeners, what is these 2 listeners? View result string table and summary report. If the same stuff is shown in these 2 different listeners, then why do we need these 2 different listeners? Okay, so why do we need these 2 different listeners? Okay, to answer that question, what I will do is, okay, I'll execute this time around with 4 iterations. I'll execute with 4 iterations. Okay, not with 1 iteration, but 4 iterations. Okay, let me clean up these tables. Okay, let me do a clear all. So that it will clean up all the 3 of them. I need not have to individually clean each one of them. So I'll do a clear all so that it will clean all these 3 listeners. Okay, now I'm executing for 4 iterations. Now you will see clearly the difference between these 2 listeners. Okay, clearly you will see the difference between these 2 listeners. Okay, now you see this one view results in a table. It will give you for each iteration. For iteration 1, launch, how much time it has taken? 1274. And then iteration 2, launch, how much time it has taken? 1159. Iteration 3, launch, how much time it has taken? 806. Iteration 4, launch, how much time it has taken? 1077. Okay, so for each iteration wise it is giving, which is of certain use. Okay, I wouldn't say it is of no use, but it is of certain use. What I need is minimum. I need a report which gives you a minimum, maximum, average, and 90 percentile as well. So that's what you will see that in the summary. You see launch for all the 4 iterations. Here is the average, here is the minimum, here is the maximum, and here is the 90 percentile. It's supposed to show you the 90 percentile as well. Not sure why it is showing up here. Maybe I need to do something here. Okay, the final report you can see, you are not able to see the 90 percentile here. Maybe when I generate the complete report, I'll be able to show that to you. Okay, so definitely it is supposed to show it here. I remember seeing it here. Okay, but anyways, okay, so don't worry about the 90 percentile at this point of time. I'll create a final report. That's where you can see this 90 percentile for sure. Okay. Okay. Maybe let me try. Gaurav is saying aggregate report is what he's asking me to try. Okay, so maybe in the aggregate report it will show me again. So let me clear all of it. I'll say clear all. Let me go ahead and execute. Yeah, 90 percentile line is shown up in the aggregate report. Okay, thank you, Gaurav. Thank you. Okay, so summary report, it is showing the summary report, overall summary report, but in the aggregate report you are able to see the 90 percentile time, even 99 percentile, 95 percentile also they are giving. Okay, wonderful guys, wonderful. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you. But even though you are not able to see it here, don't worry guys, there is something called dashboard that we create. in that dashboard, we'll be able to create that 90 percentile line. But thanks to Gaurav, you see in the aggregate report, you're able to see the 90 percentile response times as well with the average. But here in this and minimum and maximum also it is clear. Okay, so each listener has a particular purpose. So depending upon your need, you can use any of them. Okay, so since aggregate report is the one which is showing the 90 percentile line as well, I'll suggest go ahead with the aggregate report. But you can add all these listeners. There is no limitations. You can add all these listeners, and you can see the results in each one of them. And once you feel like I don't need any of this, you can just say clear all, and then all this disappears away. All this disappears away. Okay, but if you think that I need some report for the future purpose, you can save the table data, or even before executing, you give a file name, and then automatically this data will be stored in that file name. Okay, for example, before executing, so I'll say, okay, so this is the script. Okay, you can either save it as a CSV, JTR, or XML. Okay, I'll say end results or results. Okay, .csv. This is what I'll do. Okay. Okay, now I'll go ahead and execute it. Now it will store it in this file called results.csv, which is there on my desktop in the folder called Apache 5.2.1. Okay, so let me open that file called Apache 2.1. Okay, and now you see the results are there. You double click on it. Now all the results that you are seeing over here, you can store it here. Okay, you will be able to see it up here. Okay, so that's how you can store the results. Wonderful, guys. Okay, and one more thing. Okay, so here whatever you are storing here, this is not what is showing up here. Okay, you see what is showing up here is only the 4 ones. It is aggregating all the 4 of them together, and it is showing the 90 percentile line, medium, maximum, and average. But what is stored is not that. Okay, it is storing each individual. Okay, it is storing each individual as to what has happened launch. Okay, and for all the samplers of launch. Okay, and what has happened for launch for the second iteration, and for all the samplers of launch. Okay, what has happened like this, it is storing it here in this particular file. Okay, so but I wanted to see exactly whatever is shown here. This is what exactly I wanted to store it. Then you can say save table. And aggregate.csv. Now you can open this CSV file. Okay, aggregate.csv, and this is exactly what you see on this one. Okay, whatever you see over here, that is what is copied into this Excel sheet. You can do this. Okay, you want exactly whatever is there over here, you wanted it to be outputted, you can just say save table data, and automatically it will save. But here if you give a file name and then ask it to save, it will save as to what has happened for each sampler. Okay, so this results file has a lot of value in the future, guys. Okay, don't underestimate this file, because it is of no use for you if you think that, okay, what do I do looking at the response times for each sampler and then each embedded resources, what do I do with that? If you start thinking in those lines, okay, there is a huge value addition of this file, which I'll talk about at the later point of time. Okay, but for now, if you're saving it in the file name, it will save it for each embedded resource, and for each iteration, each embedded resource, what is the response times and all that. Okay, but if you save the table, whatever is there over here, that will be saved. Okay, are we clear with that part, guys? Okay, wonderful. Now, good guys, we are good to go. So this is how execution looks like in a GUI mode. Okay, this is how execution looks like in a GUI mode. So can I continue for 10 more minutes? I'll show you the execution in the non-GUI mode as well. Okay,
Hey, Kumar,
so
Kumar, when we need to click on save table data after completion of our execution, right?
right, otherwise it will save whatever it has at that point of time.
Okay. Yep.
Let's say you're executing for 1 hour, and somewhere in half an hour itself you're saving that table, then whatever the data it has for that half an hour, it will save. But you want it after the complete execution to be done, so that You wanted to see the results at the end, right? After that 1 hour test. Makes sense,
But
right?
in non-GUI mode, no, it won't be under our control, right? Because it's in UI mode. So once after completion of execution, then we can able to save. But
No,
in
non-GUI mode we haven't completed, right? I'll tell you how it works. Okay, so GUI mode you save it after the test is done. Non-GUI mode also you give a command, okay, upfront, but it will take care of it. I mean, what it will do is after the whole execution is done, it will save the data.
okay,
Okay, but upfront only you have to give the command. Narendra, are we
yeah,
good with it?
yes, I'm good.
Okay. So now, as I've told you, you can execute in 2 modes. One is a GUI mode and one is non-GUI mode. I've shown people are leaving, guys. Okay, people are leaving. So what I'll do is I'll stop the class here now. Okay. So this non-GUI mode is very important because in the real world nobody executes in the GUI mode. Everybody executes in the non-GUI mode. I don't want anybody to miss out on this. I want to give you a proper background on this non-GUI mode, especially if somebody is completely new to IT. Okay, so I don't want it to complete in a hurry because this is what happens in the real world. So what I'll do is I'll take this up tomorrow. Okay, so today we are done with the class, guys, and tomorrow there is no class as I am traveling. Okay, I'm traveling to a certain place, so tomorrow there is no class. Okay, so the next class will be day after tomorrow, and we will start with the non-GUI mode execution, and then we will start exploring controllers, listeners, more into listeners, and then think time, which is called timers. Okay, then we will go into the parameterization and correlation. Okay, then finally after that we'll create a scenario and we'll execute a scenario, and then we'll understand master slave. Okay, and create a dashboard report as well. Okay. Thanks you guys, thank you so much for joining. Okay, so no class tomorrow again, I'm telling you guys. Okay, so day after tomorrow is your next class. Any questions? I'm ready to stay back. Any questions, folks? Rama, I'll tell you what happens in a non-GUI mode. Okay, upfront you give a command. Rama, are you there?